From courtly love to swiping right, a cultural history of flirting. Flirting is more than a game of glances, words, or small gestures. It is a mirror of society. What happens in the fleeting moment between two people reveals much about morality, freedom, power dynamics, and the self-image of an era. From medieval courtly love to 21st century dating apps, flirting has undergone not only a linguistic transformation, but a cultural one, always balancing between convention and rebellion, closeness and distance, seriousness and playfulness. In the Middle Ages, the term flirting did not yet exist, but refined forms of interaction already did. Courtly love was a ritualized expression of devotion in which the man idealized and served the woman. Love was neither physical nor equal. Rather, it was often a social and spiritual distinction. In this context, flirting as we understand it today, the mutual, playful exploration of interest, had little place. But the foundation was laid. A symbolic language in which desire was communicated through signs rather than direct words. With the Renaissance came a rediscovery of the body. Humanism placed the human being at the center, and with that came a lighter, often more sensual way of approaching others. Dance, masquerade balls, and conversation became opportunities for playful interaction, much closer to the modern notion of flirting. The Baroque era added a theatrical dimension, disguise, ambiguity, and irony. The English word to flirt appeared during this time, initially meaning to flutter, flicker, or tease. Though its meaning was vague at first, it already carried that sense of lightness and movement that continues to define flirting today. In the 18th century, the Age of Enlightenment, flirting became a matter of style. In the salons of Paris, Vienna, and London, the art of conversation was held in high esteem. A successful flirt was not about crude advances, but about subtle irony, wit, and mutual respect. Especially in societies where marriage was still largely an economic arrangement, flirting became a space for aesthetic, perhaps even emotional freedom. Women, in particular, gained power in these settings. They could choose, direct, reject, or encourage with nuance. It wasn't until the 19th century that the word flirt found its way into the German language, initially as an imported novelty, then gradually naturalized. The bourgeois society of the time was marked by strict gender roles, rigid morals, and a strong sense of propriety. Flirting was tolerated only if it remained harmless, and deemed dangerous if it went too far. Women who flirted openly were considered improper, men who were too direct indecent. And yet, the flirt flourished in the shadows of convention. Novels, letters, and poems became spaces for hidden games of attraction. One did not say, "I desire you," but let it be guessed. In the 20th century, flirting changed rapidly. The 1920s brought new freedoms with jazz, cinema, and cabarets. Women smoked, wore shorter skirts, danced, laughed, and flirted. It was a time of awakening, where physical expression was publicly celebrated for the first time. The wars interrupted this momentum, but the desire for connection remained. In the 1950s, conservative restraint returned, but beneath the surface, the tension persisted. By the 1960s, with the sexual revolution, flirting became political. To flirt was to claim autonomy over one's body, one's desire, one's life. Today, flirting has gone digital. Dating apps like Tinder or Bumble have turned the game of attraction into algorithms. A swipe replaces the first glance, an emoji replaces the smile. Flirting has become faster, more direct, but also more fleeting. At the same time, the rules have become more complex. What signals genuine interest? What is manipulative? Who may flirt, how and when, without crossing boundaries? And how do we flirt in a society that rightly takes diversity and consent seriously? Flirting has never been just what it appears to be. It has always been a space of negotiation. Between power and charm, between role and authenticity, between social order and individual freedom. It is a cultural prism through which every era reflects itself. Perhaps that is why flirting, despite all its transformations, remains so enduring, because it allows us for a moment to risk something usually hidden, that delicate game with the other, in which, for a fleeting instant, the world rearranges itself.